How we doing, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast here on YouTube. On today's show, we're going to be hitting on the New York Giants roster moves ahead of our upcoming NFC East preview. The Giants moved a couple of former Steelers. Current running back Najee Harris, now a member of the New York Football Giants, while former Steeler Juju Smith-Schuster was released in a corresponding move. We're going to hit on the direction of the team, the way we see some of this depth chart action lining up, and much more in terms of the way the Giants stack up against the rest of the NFC East. Enjoy this intro, and we'll be right back.
It's up to you, New York, New York.
All right, as promised, we are back. Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast here on YouTube. I am your host, Richie. Here with my guy, Mr. Idris Salam, aka Bosco from the Bronx, who sounds like he's breaking some bricks back there.
Hey, before we get started, I do want to say something. I want to say rest in peace to Herb Campbell, aka King Apocalypse, one of my buddies, New York buddies, big time Giants fan. He passed away yesterday. We don't know what happened. Herb passed away yesterday, man. I found out when we were off. I just found out. His sister came home. I mean, my boy's sister came home, and they found her unresponsive, man. Yeah.
Damn, I know her.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I literally just found out. Yeah, so rest in peace, Herb, King Apocalypse. Gonna miss you during the season, but it's still Knicks in 5. We're gonna bring it home this year. It's crazy because last year before the season, I had a friend, Dimitri DeValier. Well, the year before, he passed right before the season started too. So yep. Rest in peace, Herb. Yeah.
I'm really sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
And I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Look, let's get on with the show, homie. We got Big G to talk about. Big Blue, baby.
Yes, indeed. All right, so the Giants, on the day that they signed Odell Beckham Jr., also brought in Braxton Berrios, the return specialist, as well as Juju Smith-Schuster.
Yep.
And, it was an open competition, which it still is, as people are trying to figure out which way the Giants receiving room is going to look. I know on a recent poll I saw experts suggesting that down the stretch of the 53-man cut downs, it may come down to Berrios and Odell Beckham Jr. I don't share that sentiment. I think ultimately Jalen Hyatt will be cut, whereas Odell will serve as probably a backup slot option, basically the number 4 receiver on the team. And I believe that Berrios will be returning kicks because, of course, they lost Gunnar Olszewski in the beginning of the season. And, you got a lot of player movement, but Juju Smith-Schuster is out. Najee Harris is in for the running back room. We'll hit on Harris in a minute. But this is still a receiver room that has Darius Slayton until he's released or until whatever, Jalen Hyatt, Calvin Austin,
Yeah.
obviously Odell's in the mix. You've got the rookie Malachi Fields, and typically it's no more than 7 receivers on a team. Sometimes you can see 8, but I feel that the Giants are going to figure it out amongst 7 receivers. And of course, Malik Neighbors, assuming he's healthy by week 1, will be the number 1 receiver going into the season. And you got Darnell Mooney in the mix. What are your thoughts on? I'm not really surprised that Juju was released. He's been quite the journeyman since the beginnings of his Pittsburgh run. Are you in any way, shape, or form surprised that Odell is still hanging in there?
Not at all. If anything, Odell is that. I see Odell as Jameis Winston. He's that senior guy, that old G. He knows the system. I mean, he knows the game. He's been through the ups. He's been through the downs. I think OBJ has that. I think they got him for leadership, and I'm not surprised he's still there. I'm really not. I'd be surprised if he doesn't make the team.
Yeah, I think things are trending upward with only, I mean, shoot, we're talking 3 or so weeks until the opening game.
Yes.
I think Odell's going to make this team. And I wasn't necessarily sure when the Giants first signed him because, Neighbors, I'm going to say he will play week 1, albeit possibly on a pitch count.
Yeah.
I think there's a legitimate battle going on for the number 2 between Slayton and Calvin Austin, as it seems like Mooney is becoming more of like an outside threat. The thing that I like about this variety of different receivers in this room, and of course Malachi Fields at 6'4" out of Notre Dame, he's going to be a big red zone trump card. I believe
Classical burst.
Yes, that's a good name. I believe that what the Giants are doing right now and the way they're going to approach offense is that you're going to have a lot of moving parts where you're going to have consistent guys checking in and out of games to give defenses rather a lot of different looks. I think that's what we're looking at right now, where you take a guy like an Odell who can serve on a slot basis during certain formations, but they're not, you might see Odell for 3 to 4 straight snaps during a drive, and then you might have him get a blow. And then next thing you know, you see Calvin Austin in there, or you see Mooney in there. I think there's going to be a lot of movement with these giant receivers coming in and out of the game. And that's how I see it. I don't think that there's necessarily outside of Neighbors going to be anybody commanding a ridiculous amount of targets. I think it's going to be a game-to-game basis outside of Malik Neighbors. So the fantasy heads will probably be frustrated drafting giant receivers not named Malik Neighbors or the lead tight end, obviously Isaiah Likely, who I think has a legitimate shot to be number 2 in receptions on this team behind Neighbors.
Yeah, I'm with you. Because look at our teams in the past. We've always had a problem with receivers, getting healthy receivers, and experienced receivers. We always had to just grab a guy here, grab a guy there. Now we have a whole roster of receivers. Any one of them could be the number 2 or 3. Any one of them. So it's good. And I like if maybe Harbaugh's taking a page out of the New York Knicks. Like, hey, it's good to have a lot of it than have none of it. And I could see 7 receivers and do it as you say. Move in, move one out, keep the defenses off balance. Like, okay, we got Odell, we got to get Odell. Oh no, we got Barrett. Oh no, we got Slayton. Oh no, we got Fields. Like it's good because they're all different types of receivers. So I think it's good, and and getting the Najee Harris, I don't want to jump the gun. I think that was a good pickup because as me and you talked offline. Good hands, good strong body, speed, the whole thing, and he just finished playing for his brother. So
yes, indeed.
I'm pretty sure he got like, hey, what's up on Najee? What can you tell me about him? His brother said, hey, this guy's a locker room guy. He's a gym guy. Give him a shot. Because he wouldn't. I don't think he'd have just grabbed Najee. Like, hey, we don't. Let's just grab Najee. He talked to his brother. He had
indeed.
to.
Yes, indeed. So, and you got to. I'm going to piggyback your thought on Najee before we circle back to him in a bigger way.
Yeah.
This is a guy that prior to tearing his Achilles in Los Angeles last year for the Chargers, only the third game of the year,
Hmm.
this is a guy that had 4 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons ranging from 1,200, 1,100 to 2 seasons over 1,000. And then last year, I believe he had like a couple hundred yards and he tore his Achilles rather early, if he even
Yeah.
had that many yards. But this is a guy that prior to the unfortunate Achilles tear has been super reliable and plays in a lot of games. He doesn't miss a lot of games. And
Mm-mm.
I said this to you earlier today that most athletes, at least once in their football journey, are going to deal with the Achilles thing.
Yeah.
So I think Najee is going to be a great addition to this team because you have Cam Scatterbo, who, similar to Najee, runs in a very north-south kind of old school football way. Najee does a lot of things good. He picks up blocks. He's
Yep.
very formidable in terms of keeping linebackers off his quarterback.
Yep.
And he's a positive runner. But the limitation on Najee, the one thing that could be a knock or a criticism of his game, is that he doesn't really have a breakaway burst.
Right.
But in terms of moving the chains, Najee
Right.
Harris is a terrific pickup. And if you look at the back of his trading card, every season he's at least going for 7 or 8 rushing touchdowns, which in a
Those
run
hands.
first, yes, which in a run first offense, because I do believe that you're going to see a lot of scat, you're going to
Yeah.
see a lot of Najee, you're going to see Jackson Dart calling his own number, or even on design plays.
Yep.
This is how I foresee this Giants thing going down. I think Jackson Dart has in the neighborhood anywhere between 20 and 24 passing touchdowns. I think you
I
could
can see that.
probably add 4 to 5 on the ground. And I think you're looking at least 500 to 600 yards on the ground. I'm going to say right around 3K in the air. And you're going to have a decent amount of help in terms of the running game. You also have Tyrone Tracy, Devin Singletary working it out, figuring out who's going to be that number 3 back. Tracy has more upside being a former receiver, better hands. Singletary's big value. Well, for one, he doesn't miss a lot of games.
Right.
He's always available, but he's also a hell of a goal line threat.
Yeah.
But I think with the addition of Patrick Ricard, who could kind of be a touchdown vulture, similar to Kyle Juszczyk has been over the years with the 49ers, I
Yeah.
think you might see a lot of drives ending with a Ricard goal line touchdown. Like I actually think that Ricard might have a weird season where he has like 85 rushing yards, but like
And
8 of those,
like a touchdown. Yeah.
yeah, 5 to 6 of those 85 yards could be a 1-yard touchdown.
Right.
He's a hell of a blocker. He picks up
Oh,
defensive
yeah.
schemes very well, and he's
Oh,
an
yeah.
extension of Harbaugh's attitude with the very formidable team that he built in Baltimore. I want to get back to this receiving room for a second, Idris, as depth charts
Yeah.
are going to be becoming more and more clear, and just let the viewers know, either tonight or tomorrow, announcement to come, we will be unveiling our NFC East preview. It's prepped, it's ready. We just got to get in the studio and knock it out the frame. And we're talking to some friends of ours to finalize who's going to be on the show. But yes, NFC East preview either tonight or tomorrow. Okay, Giants receiver room, Idris. I'm
Yep.
going to name a name, and I want you to give me a check as to whether or not they're going to be on the team. It's very difficult to keep everyone because at the end you got to cut down to 53 men. The third
Right.
quarterback does not count as a man against your roster. Let's start with kick return man Braxton Berrios. Will he make the Giants?
Yes, I think special teams.
Yeah, I think that's Gunner's replacement. So
Yeah.
let's assume we're going for 7. That's one receiver right there.
Yeah.
Malik Neighbors, obviously.
Oh,
that
yeah.
would be 2. All
And
right. That's not even
put
a
a big
question.
big green check right there.
Yeah, exactly. Malik Neighbors, Braxton Berrios. That's 2.
Yep.
Let's say 7 receivers, 5 to go. Darius Slayton.
Godly. I think
the contract is not the best, but you also
that's the
have to
thing.
find a
Yeah.
partner that's willing
That's
to
the
take
thing.
him on. I think for that alone, Darius Slayton's on the team.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want to put a contract, yeah. I think he's a check. He's on there.
All right, so that's three. All right, rookie Notre Dame, Malachi Fields. You know the
Yeah.
draft
Oh
capital.
yeah.
That's an
That yeah.
obvious yes.
He's a big green check.
All right, those are four receivers right there. Four
Yep.
receivers right there. Braxton Berrios, Malik Neighbors, Darius Slayton, Malachi Fields. Possibly only three spots left. Darnell Mooney. That's a tough one. Well, they did shave it down a little by getting rid of Juju. So
I'm
Darnell
gonna
Mooney.
say check. I'm gonna say yeah.
All right, so Darnell Mooney would be your fifth guy in this receiving room. It looks like potentially only two spots left. I think the absolute highest would be 8, but I think we're looking at 7. So you got
Yeah,
Darnell
I
Mooney.
think 7. Yeah.
All right, Darnell Mooney in. Jalen Hyatt.
Goodbye, Miss Molly.
Yeah.
He should have got
Yeah.
let go last year.
Yeah, I don't see a world where Jalen Hyatt makes this team unless if there was mass injury.
He'll be with the Jets.
It wouldn't surprise me. Go across the lockers. Yeah. All right. So Jalen Hyatt out. We're still looking for 2 more receivers. Calvin Austin.
Check. I'll go check.
Yeah, it seems like the team is rather happy with his performance.
Yeah, I'll go check. Yeah.
So yeah, that is most definitely a check. Calvin Austin. Now the final spot's not really that complicated anymore. Odell
No.
Beckham Jr.
Welcome home, buddy.
Welcome home and congratulations. The preseason's not over, but it does look very real that Odell Beckham Jr. is going to make this team. Final question with regard to Odell. Will the New York Giants, Odell Beckham Jr. second reunion, will he be wearing number 13, assuming that Jalen Hyatt is released, or will he just stay with number 3?
If released, I think he'll go to 13. Otherwise, I think he'll stick with 3.
I think it's a given because he has already approached Jalen Hyatt
Yeah.
about the number. Now, the
Yeah.
irony of this, right? The irony of this is that when the Giants first drafted Jalen Hyatt, he said that he wanted to wear the number 13 to honor Odell Beckham Jr. Well, how do
Right.
you honor a man when the guy? This sounds like Rick Ross and Rick Ross the rapper and Rick Ross the dope boy. Like, yo,
Right.
he's the real one. You're not. That'd be like me walking up in here and wearing a Kurt Warner number 13, being like, that's the real 13. He
That's
doesn't
the
look
real
like
13.
Yeah, it was like, yeah.
You know something? He didn't sniff anything Odell did. In Odell's worst season, wasn't even Hyatt didn't even come close to Odell's worst season.
And his worst season would be deemed 17 as a Giant because of the fact that the season ended after the first month because of
Right.
That was
Exactly.
like Bloody Sunday when we lost like 5 guys
Oh,
against
we
the
lost-
Chargers.
We lost everybody that game.
I think there were even fans getting injured in that game. We lost fans.
Hey, I didn't see the beard man, so I didn't see the beard man. So yeah, we lost everybody. That was a dreary game, dude. It was even the weather was like overcast. That was
Yeah, for
oh my
real.
God! I remember
Yeah,
that
that
game
was-
vividly.
That was wild.
awful.
That was wild.
We lost
I remember where I was.
everybody.
I was at Buffalo Wild Wings watching that game, and it was just one of the, that is one of the quarterbacks that Eli Manning unfortunately just never was able to beat was the guy he was traded for, Phillip Rivers. Of course,
Yeah.
the other notable guy that Eli never beat was older brother Peyton. His best chance was way back in, if my memory serves me right, 2006.
Yeah, I was gonna say 6. Yeah,
Giants were going in
7.
for the potential game-winning drive.
yeah.
Unfortunately, Tiki Barber fumbled.
And that's when he changes his. It's supposed to change his. Yeah.
Yeah, Tom Coughlin, for the most part, did a really good job with Tiki. That was actually Tiki's final year because he had
That was his final year.
Yeah, he had already
Yep.
done a good job of conquering the fumble issues by then. Tiki had one of his best
Yeah.
seasons. But
At all.
so the ultimate conclusion is Odell makes the cut. And the way I'm seeing things, Idris, is I view him as the fourth receiver on this team. I don't think
I
he's
agree.
going to get a ton of snaps, but I
He
think
can run
he's
back
going to
kicks
have.
too.
Yeah, and I think they're
Let
going to
me.
be selective about when they allow him to do that.
Yeah.
I think if you're talking about a game where you might be down by a score,
Yeah.
you
You need that
know,
electricity.
and
Yeah.
you need a punt return. Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if Odell's in the game.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see Odell get, I'd say about 12 snaps a game at least in the beginning, and we'll see where that goes.
Yeah. And I think with Odell, I think he knows where he is in his career.
Yes,
I think it's like when Jameis knows. I know why I'm here. I'm not going to get 40, 50 snaps a game. I know that. And I
correct.
think Odell knows I'll get about 12 a game, maybe 15 a game, whatever, da da da. But he knows why he's there. And I'm pretty sure Harbaugh said, look, man, I need you to be a veteran to these young guys.
In a
And
corresponding move today, also, New York Giants received a seventh round pick for journeyman. I wouldn't call him a journeyman because he's predominantly a Raven, but middle of the road lineman Daniel Falel. I don't know if I pronounced his last name right,
yeah,
but
I mean, yeah.
he got moved for a seventh rounder. That's a free pick, dude.
Wow. Really?
Yes, seventh round return. Which whenever you get a free pick for a guy that's like, it's not bad because the way I see this offensive line looking, center position, you got JMS. Your
Yeah.
guards, one of them is going to be CC, of course.
Yeah.
CC is one of your guards. I would imagine that John Runyon Jr. is the other one.
Yeah.
And then your two tackles, you're looking at Andrew Thomas, the former Pro Bowler. Definitely one of your tackles right there. And then Jermaine Illuminor is your other tackle. And truthfully, CC has the ability, Francis Moagawa has the ability to
Yeah.
be a tackle as well. But I think in this current part of Giants regime, where Illuminor came back, I think they're going to put CC in the middle because the guard positions have been an issue for the Giants in terms of giving up, penetration for the run game or blowing up plays early. So I think that's how it's going to look in the early going of the new season. Not related to the wide receiver room or the running back room. Will Evan Neal make the final cut as a member of this team, or do you think he's going to be one of the final 50 when they cut down to 53, going to be a final casualty?
Evan Neal makes the cut. Evan Neal makes a comeback. I think Evan Neal is going to pick it up this year.
I sure hope so.
He better.
Because I would hate to see him have to flip hot dogs. They're hamburgers, you entitled little shit.
Hey, I got a question for you.
And he ain't that little either, so I would probably not say that to his face.
I got your back, man. I got a question. It's off Giants. It's just something I thought about. Okay, Tyrod Taylor's in Green Bay.
Yes, indeed. I like that pickup for them.
I do too. I think, yeah. What are the Jets going to do if Geno goes back to being Geno prior to Seattle?
That's a really rough situation for Geno off the jump. I will say this. I think the Jets have some pieces on defense where they can be competitive. But when I look at that division, the only team that I think the Jets could beat on any given matchup, they obviously play each team in that division twice. I would probably say that they might be able to split with the Miami Dolphins. I don't know when they play the Dolphins. We haven't rolled out our East preview yet for that division.
Right.
But I would say that if you get Miami late in the year when the weather's under 40 degrees, I could see them beating them in MetLife. I mean, shit, Miami's not like a juggernaut. They could beat them in Miami too. But I don't see a world where the Jets score a victory over the Bills or the Patriots this year. And to answer your question about Geno Smith, I think it's a placeholder for a bit of a tanked out season.
Yeah.
Where you are essentially tanking. You are essentially tanking for Arch Manning, for the rights to Arch Manning, where you could trade the one pick if he doesn't want to be a part of what the Jets are doing. Because this is not the same thing like Uncle Eli. Eli wanted New York. Archie wanted New York. The nephew ain't going to want New York, nor the Manning family.
Nah.
Now, Arch Manning is Cooper's son, correct?
Yeah, it's Coop's son. Yeah.
Yeah, because Coop, according to the family, and that's a very
Yeah, was the best
legacy-driven,
one.
the best,
Yeah,
better than Peyton, better than Eli. That's saying
yeah.
something because you got 4 Super Bowl rings between those two.
And those two are pretty damn good, man. But we'll see. But
We're going to
that,
obviously talk about this more on the show when we get
yeah,
our East preview. But Jackson
yeah, I was
Dart, Idris,
yeah, I was asking about that because I'm a Tyrod Taylor fan. I realized I was like, yeah, he's in Green Bay now, and I just want to ask
and
that question.
Mr.
Yeah.
Slav, let me ask you the historical value to NFL journeyman Tyrod Taylor. What is his claim to fame as a New York Football Giant?
Oh shoot, he beat the Eagles.
I think
No.
you're overthinking it off the rip. What did he do that no other man did for the New York Football Giants when they hit triple zeros?
Oh, first black quarterback.
Yeah, that was a huge
Yeah,
thing. That was a
yeah,
huge
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Geno
yeah,
Smith is the first African American quarterback to start a game for the G-Men.
yeah.
Tyrod Taylor was the first African American quarterback to win one.
And Gino
And
shouldn't have got on the field at all.
it wasn't really Geno's fault. It was a lose-lose
Yeah,
situation. As a professional, you always want to compete and be in there. It was a lose-lose situation in Oakland against the Raiders that year. Ben McAdoo essentially lost his job, not just because of that. He had already lost the locker room, and
knucklehead.
that's the same horrific season where Odell Beckham Jr. was lost for the season early. That's 17 was a terrible season and a huge step back from having the second best defense in the NFL a year earlier, best in the NFC, second in the whole league, and losing to Green Bay with the infamous boat trip. The Giants
And
did rectify the boat trip with the
yeah,
Daniel Jones playoff win
yeah,
in Minnesota, which was a very exciting game before, unfortunately, getting worked by your cousins, Philadelphia Eagles.
yeah. And I say I'm not going to put Ray Handley down as our worst coach ever. That's going to go to Joe Judge.
Yeah, Joe Judge was pretty. I think
Yeah,
I think he took the cake when with the two sneaks on those
third down,
two. Oh my!
second and
Oh
third down.
yeah, that was
Nigga,
different.
yeah, he ran the freaking Notre Dame box.
That
Like,
was
what are you
rough.
doing,
I
dude?
was looking for the Gipper when he was doing that.
Yeah, right.
We're gonna run left and we're gonna run right. I was like, what is this jerk doing? But yeah, he had
Yeah,
no business. I guess he had a good interview. That's all I can say. But he had no
that's
business
it.
yeah, he had a good interview.
Yeah,
I will say this about Coach Harbaugh. He's way past impressions and interviews. He's a guy that
yeah,
was sought out. He's a premium coach. He's a premier coach. There's only
yeah.
one concern of mine with regard to Coach Harbaugh, and we're going to talk more about this on the bigger show. But
Mhm.
the Ravens, over the course of the last few years, the team that he spent the majority of his NFL career coaching wise with, um, they had a lot of blown fourth quarter leads. Now,
Mhm.
it's a personnel thing, it's a lot of things, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you it doesn't concern me a little.
Right.
So
Well,
definitely have to shore that up because, last year, the
yeah,
Giants were notorious for having bad fourth quarters where
yeah,
a 4-win season could have potentially been a 7 or 8-win season. But on the flip side, the reward for not doing good is that you're able to get a player like an Arvell Reese. And then because of
yeah.
your draft capital, um, you make a deal with Dexter Lawrence and get the 10 pick and go get CC. So,
CC, yeah,
yeah, I think
yep.
the Giants did really good in this draft.
I think they did too.
I think this will be the final part of this. Colton Hood out of Tennessee, a guy that I have high aspirations for, a guy that at times, due to injury to the more notable cornerback in that defensive room,
Yeah,
I thought he showed signs rather of the potential to be a number one corner. And the
yeah,
Giants, I would say that is their most questionable weak position
yeah.
is corner because Paulson Adebo has not performed at the level they were hoping for yet. And
No,
that is probably the weakest position on this team because the offensive line is even going back to last year has significantly improved. The
yeah,
running back room, now that you add Harris in there, a former 1,000-yard back 4 times over, and he's still relatively young. It's not like he's 3 years removed from a 1,000-yard season. He's 1 year removed. Last year he only played 3 games.
yeah,
I mean, I don't think it's out of the question that if they do a true 60-40 split or a 55-45 split, that both Harris and Scatterbo can get close to 1,000 yards.
Yeah, and talking about the corners, I think I like Drew Phillips. I really like Drew Phillips. I mean, he messed up a few times, but I like Drew Phillips. We gotta hope Deontay Banks shows up
Yeah, Deontay Banks has a world of talent, but it just hasn't manifested at the NFL level yet.
because he's good on the boundaries and stuff. He just has to show up. I'm glad we got Hood. I think with Hood, if he can stay healthy and play his game, I think, golly, we're going to be good. And Adebo, he has to. He got to. You getting this money? You gave me this money, man.
And then they bring in Newsome the third, who's already
And
injured.
Newsome, yep. Yeah, he's already.
It's a
injured.
concern. I do like the
Yeah.
Jason Pinnock pickup for safety. I think our
Yeah.
safeties are stronger than our corners, but I must admit, the cornerback position is a worry. That's
Yeah.
why the Giants reached out to Detroit's corner, who they recently released.
Yeah.
And this is a guy looking at like mad felony charges, which the Giants,
Yeah.
I think, essentially are like taking a flyer and seeing how long the legality process would take. They, of course, didn't sign him, but they're looking
Yeah.
into adding talent. And that's another thing, too. When you get
Yeah.
these final cut downs, sometimes you can get a gift from another team that might release a stud
Yeah.
position player making the numbers meet. So the Giants still might be able to add a legitimate corner or something better than what they currently have before opening night. Because, when you consider what the Giants are going to be up against, you've got George Pickens opposite of CeeDee Lamb, two of the top 10 receivers in the league right now. Maybe in Pickens' case, you drop him down in the top 13, but he's definitely knocking on the door for top 10 fantasy relevance. And that's not an easy task, those two opposite each other.
No, it's not. Yeah, and corner's always been our problem, man. But I'm glad we got Pinnock back. He knows the organization and all that. So he knows a lot of the teammates too. So I think that's good. That's the veteran leadership we bring back in. So
What up, Coco? How you doing?
what up, Coach? We're gonna finish that conversation we was having.
No
But yeah.
doubt, no doubt.
Yeah, but I think I'm glad we had depth. This, like I said, this right here put the pressure on Adebo, put the pressure on
Absolutely.
Banks. With Pritchard.
Yes,
I mean Newsome. Yeah. So yeah, and with CC
I
the Hood there.
I personally think we're looking at what I like about the Harbaugh regime, or pretty much any regime when it first starts anyway.
Yeah.
Of course, I have more reason to have faith. Harbaugh's a winner in this league, and he's won a Super Bowl. And he's
Right.
trying to become the first coach to win a Super Bowl as the main man for two different organizations.
Right.
Bill Parcells almost did it. Dick Vermeil almost did it. Andy Reid could have done it. There have been great ones that have been great in two different places, but it's never happened yet. People will be confused and say, what about Belichick? Belichick was the DC. He wasn't the head coach
Right.
of the New York Football Giants in the 80s and early 90s. So
Right.
it's yet to happen. And it will happen eventually. Sean Payton, he got close last year. He won with the Saints. He's got the Broncos knocking on the doorstep of Super Bowl glory.
It's gonna happen this year.
It may very well.
The Jets. Giants, man. It's gonna be the Giants, right?
It's definitely within the realm of possibility. And you know that when we're getting older and when things are starting to change is when you
Mhm.
look around the landscape of the NFL and start realizing that more and more coaches have not won a Super Bowl before. That means that the league is having a turnover and getting younger.
Yes.
And
Yes.
who's won Super Bowls that are currently in the NFL? Of course, the obvious answers are the guys who won more recently. Guys like McVay,
Peyton.
Andy Reid, Sean Payton. I'm missing a name that is an obvious one. Oh, John Harbaugh.
John Harbaugh.
Yeah, obviously Seattle. That was a heck of a way to finish an early start to that in the post-Carroll era. But the point to be made is there are less and less coaches. Oh, Nick Sirianni, of course,
Yeah.
as your cousin received a Super Bowl ring for his contributions to that coaching staff. But the point to be made is that there are not a lot of dudes currently coaching in the league that have won a Super Bowl. Chanel's got a comment here. I'm like, well, you're going to have a really good season, in my opinion. Wow, you think so? Yeah, the Giants definitely made a lot of improvements, Coco. I think the team that your Patriots pushed around and embarrassed on Monday Night Football last year has significantly improved. I even like where they improved in the special teams game.
Yeah,
You got a top three punter in the league because it's not the sexiest thing that football fans think about, but
but it's
flipping
still
the
a
field
weapon.
over and
Yeah.
pinning people inside the 10 and the 5 is
Yes.
huge. Avoiding
Yes.
touchbacks.
That's a
And
weapon.
you got the best kicker in college who is fighting for the number one spot, Dominic Zavada,
Yeah.
versus Ben Sauls. So, you got like legitimate open competition right now, which is very good for any team trying to get back into a winning culture. Of course, we're going to hit in detail either tonight or tomorrow NFC East 2026 preview. And I already got the promo here, so let's roll it.
Yes, sir.
Dan Quinn, will he be on the hot seat? Will young Jaden Daniels be able to duplicate what he did in 2024 when he had his Commanders one game away from a Super Bowl? Will Brian Schottenheimer be able to finally deliver that ever elusive 6th Super Bowl title to the Dallas Cowboys? Did they do enough to finally catch up to their high-powered offense? Will Nick
hope not.
Sirianni and the best wide receivers coach in all of professional football be able to do better than their kind of surprising exit from last year's playoffs when the San Francisco 49ers went into Philly and beat that ass? You're talking
Okay.
about A.J. Brown, who was traded to the New England Patriots. They go out and they get Mekhi Lemon out of USC. Now he's going to be fighting to be the main dog. Will Saquon Barkley have a season similar to 24 where he went for 2K? And if it were not for getting rest, would have been the greatest single season ever by a running back? Of course, it's debatable. You got Dickerson, you got OJ. But, these are questions that are going to be answered. And last but not least, the New York Football Giants. Will John Harbaugh reinstill Giants pride? Will Jackson Dart avoid the infamous blue tent? Will Cam
Right.
Scatterbo stop doing them damn backflips? And will the defense, which features a litany of excellent edge rushers, be able to get to third down where these guys could show off their skills? Because you could have the best edge rushers in the world, but if you can't stop the run and get to third down, that too could be a big issue. These questions are going to be answered by our panel in the very near future. NFC East, home of the most Lombardi trophies.
Hey, man.
Idris, any final thoughts before we get out of here for the day?
Nixon 5, baby.
Knicks
That's my
in
thought.
5. And before we get out of here, I do want to throw a compliment at Coco's team. She was gracious enough to throw us a compliment. Coco,
Word.
your team's coming off a very close end of exhilaration. Of course, you didn't show up in the Super Bowl the way you wanted to. It didn't reflect the great season the New England Patriots had. Now, you took the division back from Buffalo, which is kind of astounding. So basically, the Patriots got back to the top of the AFC and the top of the AFC East before Buffalo raised the Lombardi. It's a two-team race in the AFC East. Both teams are reloading as the New England Patriots get A.J. Brown, and in a counter move to what the Buffalo Bills did, getting DJ Moore. So you got two of the best quarterbacks in the NFL in young Drake May, who's still growing and learning, against perennial MVP candidate Josh Allen, who is a surefire first ballot Hall of Famer, but needs that Lombardi to cement his legacy, similar to what Lamar needs to cement his legacy, similar to what Joe Burrow needs. These are great quarterbacks that don't want to leave without the brass at least once, and that'll also be coming within a week of the NFC East show. But I do think the New England Patriots, and another thing, Chanel, the off-the-field stuff with Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini, will that have an ill effect on the way that he is looked upon? These are all things that affect teams. Teams are like families. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Football is around the corner, guys. And
Yes, sir.
Chanel's team, if we go back to 85 and we go back to my team, the Giants, 86, no two teams have won or been to more Super Bowls than the New York Football Giants and the New England Patriots since they both made their first Super Bowl appearances, which was 1 year apart.
That's right. And we also had one of the best records too.
And I got to shout out my guy right here, Mr. Idris Salam. We already know that he is a phenomenal DJ, a real DJ, cut and scratch DJ. We already know that he's a master engineer. He has a great ear for hip hop music. He is a phenomenal beat maker. He's been doing great with AI productions too. But what I didn't know is that Idris Salam was spitting fire on some bars. And I have literally listened to this song at least twice a day since Idris put it out. If you want to hear Idris's music, go to bandcamp.com and The Real Bosco Productions. Check out our friend who's in the comments today, Miss Coco, on the Casual Convo Show. Every Monday and Wednesday night, you can catch them over there. Definitely make that a point to do so. Check out the Basement Show with my guy, Johnny Nast. One of the few compliments I could ever say. A really cool Philadelphia Eagles fan.
Right.
Check out our man Sneaky G out in Texas. Check him out. The Make It Count podcast. Make It Count podcast. Big time New York Giants fan. Always bringing on a ton of people to talk any and all information, suggestions, everything about the New York Football Giants. This is going to be an outstanding season. We still got 4 previews to go. Announcements come for our next show. It's either going to be tonight or tomorrow. We will let y'all know. And final thought. I don't care about LeBron James or his receding hairline. Final thought. Nope. I don't care about Mitchell Robinson going to Boston. I love you, Mitch, but you're the enemy now. Final thought. I don't care about the Cleveland Cavaliers. They couldn't even get their greatest player to come back. Afterthought. I don't care about Kate Cunningham looking like that dude in the Janet Jackson video, not producing in the playoffs. I don't care about that. And I don't care about Tyrese Halliburton. The Knicks can't win. The Knicks only won because we didn't play you. You bitches won 15 games.
Right.
As they know me on the Casual Convo Show, they tend to call me Sports Block. But this is Richie Hicks Jr. signing off saying that the New York Knicks are going to win the East again. And everybody was scrambling, trying to figure out how to stop the Knicks. Whether you like it or not, the New York Knicks are now the darlings of the NBA, and I waited my whole damn life to see it, and I'm so damn happy. Knicks in 5.
Yeah. Big Nick energy. Biatch.
Big Nick energy, we ain't playing nice. Kings of New York, ain't no rolling dice. Flexing on these bitches, we the real deal. Ain't no stopping us, this is how we feel. The Bronx, Manhattan, Brooklyn, the island of Queens, we ballin' hard. Fulfilling all our dreams, thugging through the hustle. Got that grit and grind in this Big Nick energy, we forever shine. So let them know we rockin'. From the garden to the booth, Knicks in the building, bringing straight up truth. With our heads held high, watch us rise and transcend. Big Nick energy, this is just the begin. Big Nick energy, we ain't playing nice. Kings of New York, ain't no rolling dice. Flexing on these bitches, we the real.